Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on issue 18 of the Image Comics of Transformers. Now as you know, we're now on issue 18, where the stakes are risen a lot more higher than it was during the previous issues. And the cover we mainly have is Megatron using Laserbeak as his eyes and looking menacingly. So the story starts off, on Cybertron. We see how Bluestreak, Warpath, as well as Blur are being pinned down by other Decepticons. Now, in case you don't know who these two are, this one is Hotlink and this one is Blitzstream. They did appear in the first episode of G1, but were mostly just background characters, but given names. And we see, Hotlink saying, "No mercy for the Autobots." Alina, do you read? Look out, look out, look out! Huh, get ready to taste more lasers, Otto. Hotlink, wait. I think I'd like to feed on this one instead. And then suddenly, we see Shredhead show up, and they mark up, and also seeing how, Hotlink gets his arms cut off, Blipstream saying, wait, and then gets cut in half. And this is Elite 1, making it clear that Shredhead is their ace card now, and giving them a winning advantage. And we see how, in Ultra Manus' hideout, he points out that after everything that Shockwave's done, it's hard to kind of look things in a positive light anymore, and that Shockwave ruined it all. We see how RC lets Ultra Manus know that Shockwave's gone and can't hurt him anymore. And we do see how, Carly points out that both Spike, her, and Ultra Manus are not too different, because they've both lost something they cared about. And of course, this does show a real human thing. It's understanding from other people's pain and struggles is where we're able to help them. And we even see how she says, "You're not alone, Ultra Manus. I don't know what..." Huh? And we kind of see how Ultra Manus' PTSD kicks in. And of course, a group of soldiers try to take on Ultra Manus, but of course, because of his PTSD, it's hard for him to kind of see reason. And we do try to see RC desperately trying to get Ultra Manus to stop. Of course, Ultra Manus ends up going way too far, and this is what PTSD can do. It can drive you crazy without getting proper help. And we even see the soldiers said, "Enough of the child's play. We're going to Code Red. Light them up." And we kind of see how Beachcomber, Spike, and all the others try to escape. But of course, the army personnel manage to find Carly, and turns out they're G.I. Joe officers. And this is where, RC sees to her shock and horror, they've even got Ultra Manus. And we see how back in Seattle, Wheeljack, Jazz, and Optimus are trying to help the humans. And we see how Bruticus and Devastator even duke it out. And we see how one of the bystanders say, "Look out! Yeah!" And we see how Optimus works hard to try and keep everyone alive. And Trailbreaker saying, "Hang on, Optimus." "Pathetic! Futile! The city is mine! Do yourself a favour and run to the hills before I turn you into slag!" And we see how, Soundwave realises Starscream's still in the sky, but uses his one ace card, Rumble. And of course, due to having one arm, it'll be more than enough. So does the Fastball Special, takes out Astro Train's wing, and crashes right up to the top of a skyscraper. And we see how, Bruticus tries to rescue Starscream, and even Starscream saying, "Can I not get one spark-driven break?" "Fearless leader, fear not, we are here. There can only be one combiner, and that combiner's name is Devastator." And we see how they both fall to their doom. And we see how they both end up crashing. And we see how Starscream says, "No, no, no. Why can't anything go my way? And we see how, Soundwave points out all the flaws of Starscream. And Starscream's saying, "Pathetic! Pathetic! Look who is talking! At least I'm not the one obsessed with their tape collection." And we see how they hear a familiar voice. And it's Megatron saying, "Enough!" Megatron, how did you... "Be silent, Megatron." And we see how, Megatron brings back Ravage to life, and even says, "What a good soldier you are, small thing, and what a faithful servant your father is." And we see how, Megatron's returned, and we see how, Astro Train gets up and realizes this is Megatron who killed his love. And we see how Megatron says, "Get up, Soundwave. There is much work to be done. Autobots, retreat." And this is the story. So I think this one is okay, but again, it's one of those stories that's more filler based because we are going to see Shredhead be Elita's One's Ace Card. We are going to get the introduction of G.I. Joe now after the events of issue 2. And with Megatron returning, this is going to be something we've never seen before because, when you have the other stories, we always saw how Megatron was built up to be this evil threat, this kind of bigger danger other than Starscream and Soundwave. But I think the issue still deserves thumbs in the middle. Still alright, still okay, but more comic filler based. So, Comic Viewer here, signing out.